are live. What's good, y'all? It's your man, Dale Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. Special Friday edition. Y'all know I don't normally do Fridays, man, but I'm here with my man, Jay Swans, bro. We are going to talk about becoming an air traffic controller. Listen. We do these videos for the benefit of those young folks out there who are looking to change their lives. I am a retired air traffic controller, just like Jay Swans. And I'm here to tell you that career is life-changing. It is life-changing. It's tough to get in. It's there are a lot of hurdles, you know what I mean? It's a little gauntlet you got to run, but it's definitely worth it when you get there. And it's the best career you can find out there, in my opinion. No experience necessary. You don't need any college degrees. You don't need any technical degrees. The government will train you. The Federal Aviation Administration will train you. They have a program set up. If you get through the program, become an air traffic controller, you can, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's fire. It's fire. So Jay Swans took a coffee break. We just did like an over 2-hour stream. It wasn't live, it was pre-recorded. We're gonna put it up later. It was just me and him just chopping it up. That is going to drop after this. So, and I'm just kind of looking for, going to Reddit. It's like air traffic. I'm going to Reddit to see if I can find some air traffic control stuff, because I tell all the folks who are going through this process, I tell them like, hey man, don't pay attention to anything you see in somebody's forum or chat room or Reddit or whatever. If you guys are watching this, if you guys are, getting into the process because of this video, and the FAA reaches out to you and you get accepted and you're going through the steps, if you got any questions, hit me up. You know what I mean? You can leave a comment, hit me up on my Instagram, and we will get you the answers. Don't play around, right? Like, don't listen to some people on Reddit who have no idea what they're talking about. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm looking for, here it is. My Instagram is right there scrolling below. The Cash App is down there as well, if anybody's thinking about doing any donations or anything like that. So yeah, we're going to talk about becoming an air traffic controller, and this is going to be a great stream. And we already know that we've helped some people in the past, folks that hit me up, that have followed the steps and have gotten into the program, and some are even starting to, or finishing the program, and they got into their facilities. We're going to talk about all that, man. Let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. It's some indeed, man. We ready to make this happen. Jay Swan's got his coffee and everything, man, and he's ready to go. What's good, fam? Oh, wait. I think I put you on mute. No, I didn't. Can you hear me?
Yep.
What's happening, man?
Remember how when that comedy show up here and you left me up on the stage talking about stretch?
Yeah. I can stretch, bro. It's all good. I mean, this is what I do. I know you were like, you need to get up here. You were like, man, you better get up here. Like, yeah, give me a second.
Yo, I had to get it up there. I was like, okay. Yo, I had to make some
coffee. And speaking of comedy shows, I did I tell you, like, bro, we sold out that show we did down here.
So I saw the thing, man. I saw the little video you did on it, man. You talking about
we sold out, man. It was a good show, bro. We probably won't have too many people in the live. I don't know, in the chat, but I know people were asking you about it when we're going to do it. It's the middle of the day. It's Friday. People at work.
Yeah.
But we know these videos help, man. I had a brother hit me up. Someone I've never met before hit me up almost a year ago now. And he thanked us, man. He was like, thank you for the video. He went through step by step everything we said. He got picked up, went through the academy, and he's on his way to his facility now.
So I mean, like, so what is that? 4 people in a year?
Yeah.
Because you got that cat from Dade City, and I got the two girls from up here, and then whoever that cat is. So yeah, man. So it's doing good things.
Yeah, and those are just the people who reached out and said something to us. I'm pretty sure there's folks who did it and just didn't say anything, which is fine.
I mean, definitely. So, I mean, we're doing a thing. I mean, it's all about, we're doing what we were told to do, man. Just reach back and help people. So it is what it is.
Those were the orders I was given. Like, you get in here. This is how you thank us. You go back and you help others. And y'all didn't know this, but Jay Swans he's a celebrity, man. He was out and about. So people walked up on him. Excuse me, are you Jay Swan? Excuse me, mister.
I don't like that either, man.
If y'all see him, if y'all see me come up to me, holler at me, it's all good. This is what I signed up for. Jay Swans didn't sign up for all that.
The sad part is like the same way I be on the chat and the shows, like how I'm in person. I'd be like, why are you even acknowledging me? Like, why are you talking to me? Like, why are you breathing my oxygen?
I was about to say that. Like, why are you breathing my air? You know what I'm saying? Oh, bro. Yeah. But if y'all see,
he's the nicer one. That's the funny part. People think I'm the nice one. That's the funny part. I never understood that, man. People scroll down. I'm like, he's so nice. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they look at me like I'm the mean one. Like, y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. But if you see me in public, feel free to come up to me, holler at me. It's all good. This is what I do this. As a comedian, you know what I mean? I've been in documentaries, so folks have come up to me and like, hey, didn't I see you in this? I got no problem with it. But not everyone is cool with that, y'all. Not everyone is cool.
Yeah, if you see me in public, slap yourself.
That's it. You better stand at attention.
Just slap yourself. And then say thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Man, have another. So
let's do this.
Let's do this, bro. Like, here we go.
Focus. You know what I'm saying? We gotta focus now.
So we got USA Jobs. Before we get into the USA Jobs thing, man, like a lot of people ask me about air traffic control and hey, was it a really good career? I think it was an excellent, outstanding opportunity, excellent career.
Yeah.
Towards the end of my career, I was ready to go. But I mean, it's challenging. Like you challenge it. It's mental gymnastics every day. Like, and keeping those airplanes separated, doing what you got to do. It's taxing on the mind.
Yeah, it definitely is worth it. I mean, it is. I didn't think it was as stressful as I'd heard. You know what I mean? Like, like movie Airplane where the dude's doing the coke and
right.
It's a bad day to stop drinking, all that stuff. I mean, there's people out there with issues like that. But the best part about it is when you go to work, you work. And when you get off work, you go home. You don't take work home with you. And that's huge right there. And, the benefit package is great. You get lots of time off and stuff like that. Like, I'm learning about working in the private sector. Man, wow. I'm working with homeless veterans because I couldn't volunteer. They wouldn't take me as a volunteer. But, I tell you, working in the private sector it's definitely a different animal. Working for the federal government, at least for the FAA, you start out with 16 hours a month time off. 2 days a month time off.
Day one,
you walk in the door like that.
You got to use it. We got here he is right here, Jack Black, man. This is the young knight you helped out right here.
Who you talking about?
Dade City. He calls himself. Y'all be using aliases. Shout out to you.
Yeah, the best you could come up with was Jack Black.
Hey man, he be wearing sunglasses, man. He got roasted at the comedy show, bro. The comics they zeroed in on him. It was hilarious, man. It was hilarious. So what's good with you, bro? It's always good to see you, brother. Like to see my young knights doing this thing. He's like, how are you doing, Mr. Swans? Y'all see what time it is?
Yeah, if he's doing that, I hope he's standing up.
He better be standing up, bro. And
I can't be mean to him because he's already seen me. He knows, he already know I can't be mean. He already knows. All right, he met me, so he knows.
Yeah, he definitely know you. And he's looking at just wait on his date, I believe, to get to the academy. That's it. That's all he's waiting on.
Yeah, I had two girls today. Like I said, they're both at their facilities now. One's in Alaska and one's in Southern California somewhere. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, but so let's do this. So we got the package. It's great. The benefits are great. Job locations. You go anywhere in the country. I don't know if we still got places. I know with Samoa closed, and we still got people in Guam. I think it's Guam.
I want to say Guam, Puerto Rico,
St. Thomas,
Philippines. Is that just military? That might just be military.
And so yeah, there's places to go all over the place. And it's just the hiring process can be so taxing. And that's the big thing is a lot of people get discouraged through the process because you could apply tomorrow and you might not hear a word for 6 or 8 months. And then you'll get notification about a test date. And I think they give you like a 60 or 90-day window to pick a test date, and you go in there and you take that test and then you might not hear nothing else, for another 2 or 3 or 4 months. And all of a sudden it's like, go, go, go. We need you to get, background check started. We need to get a physical, drug tests and all that stuff. So it requires people to kind of be on their P's and Q's and not act right for, up to 2 years.
Right. But it's worth it. Like I went through it. He went through it. We all went through it.
Yeah. Dade City down there going through it. So, like I said, and a couple girls from up here, they went through it. So it's definitely a process, but it's rewarding. The different types of air traffic controllers. You got the tower controllers, the ones with the big windows, telling the planes to take off and land. Like you see, those are the ones you see a lot in the movies.
Yeah.
And then you got the radar guys, and everybody's seen, the radar screen before with the sweep, but there's no longer a little arm that sweeps around. That's gone now.
They got rid of that.
It's just a screen where things move around now. And
well, you can put it up on your screen now, like in the TradeCons, you can put a sweep on there, but that's part of training. That's in the weeds.
Yeah, you don't need all that. But yeah, I don't know if they still do the flight service thing too. Is the flight service still no, they still hiring for them. So yeah, flight service is still there. So yeah, you got those 3 different things going on. And we can get into more details about the radar because you got terminal, then you got approach and all that stuff. But the whole thing is just to get you in the door.
Yeah.
So the first part about getting in the door is, you got to get to USA Jobs, which that's what DL's got up on the screen there. And the way you search for the application is easiest way I do it. You could type in air traffic control, but I type in 2152 because that's the series for air traffic.
It comes right up. You see, I type in 2152 and then bam, it comes up air traffic control. You just click that. Now, before we do it, USAJOBS.gov, guys.
Yeah,
USAJOBS.gov. And this is how you apply for any and every federal job that's out there, not just air traffic control.
Yeah. And you'd be surprised, like when you look at these different jobs in USA, on the website, it sounds weird to say jobs in USA Jobs. But on the website, read the application, read the requirements, don't just glance at it, read the first line and then walk away. Because a lot of these jobs, a lot of these government jobs will say, bachelor degree but all people see is bachelor degree and they just stop.
Yep.
The air traffic job, you'll see that it'll say, I think there's one up there now for experience. If you bring that one up, like a public hire for experience. It says public announcement or something like that.
There's one air traffic control specialist, support specialist, terminal, transportation, public notice for Alaska flight service. There you go. Here it is. Direct hire.
Yeah. And that one I think is for experience. You click on that one. It's basically a lot of the stuff's the same. But this one here is for, experienced people with air traffic experience. Basically, they're looking for the military people that got out and just kind of waiting around. They want them to apply for this one. And
because you see here where it says clarification from the agency, U.S. citizens, individuals with disabilities, 30% or more, and it has VRA. VRA stands for Veterans Relocation Act. So that's basically air traffic controllers who are in the military. Yeah. And this is a program you can be hired directly. I got hired under that program. And you did too, right?
Yeah, we both got hired under that.
Look at the salary there, bro. $43,727 to $165,888 a year.
Yeah, and that $43,000, that's academy pay. That's what you get while you're at the academy. And okay, let me clarify that because somebody. So when you go to the academy, whatever $43,727 breaks down to over a year, whatever that works out to a month, you're going to get that for the months while you're at the academy. So if it's like, I don't know, if it's $4,000 a month, you're going to get $4,000 a month at the academy. And on top of that, you're going to get per diem, which I don't even know what per diem is anymore, but it used to be like $120 a day or something. And the hotels know exactly how much money you make. So they charge you that much a day and it leaves you enough money to get food. Not even hotels. They give you an apartment while you're there. You get an apartment.
Depends on which one. They were doing like an Airbnb thing, but I stayed at the apartment. The whole complex was nothing but air traffic controllers.
So, I mean, you got people that are around you doing the same thing. You got study groups. It's like going to college with money.
Yeah.
I mean,
they pay for your meal. Like you can eat there, so you can eat breakfast and dinner there, and then you can eat at the facility when you're like at work. So they do a good job of taking care of you. I could thank the union for that, because when they first did it, they wanted people to pay for their own training, and the government got embarrassed because all the controllers in training applied for food stamps.
Was that during the White Book they did that? They tried that? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a mess. It definitely was a mess. And but the process is pretty good. But you'll go here, you'll look up, you'll find the one that says public hire. Here, scroll down some more, because it'll tell you the not the duties. We don't need all that. But it'll tell you the requirements, and that's the one you want.
This one doesn't have the requirements.
It doesn't have requirements on it?
I don't see it. Let me go down some more.
Yeah, keep going. There you go.
Oh, there it is.
See? There you go.
And whatever, man. You're going to stop talking to me like that, man. We got GMC Hammer in the building, bro. See what I'm going through? Good to see you, brother. And this brother hit me up this morning is trying to get Uncle Saint put on with a pretty big YouTuber, man. I hope, fingers crossed, I hope he can make that happen, man.
There you go. Hope he can get you right on top of the YouTuber guy.
No, did he?
or maybe yes, did he?
Yeah, and you met GMC Hammer too, and he's like, good to see you, Mr. Swanson, on the platform.
Oh, that's the other dude. Oh, okay, what's up?
And that's why I got him saying Mr. Swanson. They used to be calling me Unc and Saint, but you come on here, it's all Mr. this and Mr. that.
I don't know why. I don't know who that dude is. But
here we go. Qualifications.
That Mr. guy is.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, this is the one for the experience. And they want you to be air traffic controllers already. Like they're looking to get either the people that worked in the FAA that started doing something else for a while. Because during COVID, folks was getting paid pretty good money to sit at home. So a lot of guys probably quit and sat at home and tried to do workout videos on YouTube and get rich.
Right.
It didn't work like they thought it was. So they're looking to try to bring those people back.
Because I'm looking at this, man. It says you have to have a minimum of 52 consecutive weeks of air traffic control experience involving full-time active separation of air traffic.
Yeah.
So that you can see how they've been very, very specific. Like we want, like you said, those guys who quit because they were going to be crypto millionaires or whatever, be a YouTuber. And they had to have like their facility rating, their ATC certifications within 5 years of the application while serving that. And it says a Federal Aviation Administration, like a tower, or a civilian or military air traffic facility, the Department of Defense or any National Guard facility, or a tower operating under contract with the FAA. So, wow, they really need controllers like yesterday, huh?
Yeah, plus you got a lot of military people that got out and went to work for DOD.
Yeah.
They're trying to pull those guys over as well. The problem is, well, you see the pay range on there. So what's probably going on is those DOD guys, they're GS-12s or whatever. And so they're probably making, 80 grand a year, 90 grand a year as GS-12s, if not more. And so the FAA is like, look, if you come here, we can pay you up to $145,000 training.
Yes. Trying to get you in there. Damn, that's what's up.
Yeah. So, I wonder if you can negotiate that. I mean, the way they wrote it looks like you can, but
you probably can when they send you your letter. You can like, I'll do it for this, because they're gonna send you the bare bottom. And it says in here, there's no educational substitute for the 52 weeks of experience.
So
of the specialized experience.
I was in CTI school and I controlled traffic on the computer.
You're like, nope.
That's great. Go to a contract tower.
So, okay, continue.
Oh yeah, but so you see all the requirements here, and for the public hire for anybody, they're going to be similar, minus the experience requirement. The education requirements, like I said, high school diploma. If you get a high school diploma, you're a U.S. citizen. You don't have any major felonies, like no drug charges, no violence, no weapons charges. You could probably get hired.
Wow. And they're not accepting applications from non-citizens on this particular hire.
Which were they before? I thought you had to be a U.S. citizen.
You had to be a U.S. citizen, or you had to have paperwork. So you had to be a U.S. citizen or legal resident.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So now they say even if you're a legal resident, I work with some controllers. So I was one controller. She's Italian, but she has dual citizenship.
We had the one that was Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you say it like that.
Yeah. We got to move on from that.
We got to focus on this, man. We up here. We're not as detailed as we've been in the past because, we've been away from it for so long now.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff, I'm like, bro, I could barely remember the series number.
Yeah, it's telling you. But, I'm trying to think what else. But we got the, so USA Jobs, we showed you what the requirements are, which they're going to be similar to this minus the, the requirement for the experience, but they're going to be really similar. Once you apply, and you go through that process, the next step is you'll see you'll get a confirmation that your application was accepted, which, when you have a login and stuff like that, you'll be able to see your application was accepted. And at that point, just sit back and wait. Okay. If they like your resume, what'll happen is you'll get referred. And once again, you'll get notification that you were referred. You'll be able to look on the site, or you'll be able to you'll get an email saying that you were referred. Okay. And once you're referred, you'll get a test date. And once again, this stuff can take a long time. I mean, almost a year. So just, don't quit your job. Don't go around telling your friends, I'm going to be an air traffic controller. Just do the paperwork and then keep doing what you're doing. Because once everything starts, then it gets quick.
Yeah. And they're not going to call you to ask you if you got an email. They're just going to send you stuff and expect you to see it. So you have to be on top of that. And don't be like me. And I only check emails maybe once a month. So like, you can't be like me.
Yeah. And check your spam, because I said one of the women up here that went to the academy, she said she hadn't heard anything. And I just said, have you checked your spam? And, she was like, no, I haven't. She looked in there and she had 3 emails. And the last one was, this is your final notice. And she had like a day left to respond on it. So
she got right on it. So
yeah, she did. She sat right down here on the couch and started working. I'm like, you just sitting here? You're not going to go home. No, I need to get it done now. So, but yeah, so make sure your resume is together. When you make your resume, make sure that you discuss, your management abilities, your organization abilities, emphasize those things, management, organization, teamwork, really focus on, those are the 3 things I think they really look at. Focus on those things. Like you've worked in teams, you've been successful working in a team environment. You've, let's say you worked at McDonald's, you managed the processing, and distribution of, you've ensured the safety, that type of stuff, your leadership stuff, I'm trying to do this off the top of my head right now. I ensured, I had positive results, that type of thing.
Right.
Really lay it on thick, at how you led things, how you managed to get things done, and how you were safe in doing everything. Okay. The resume they don't really read your resumes. They just look for the keywords. They run it through a computer. Okay. Right. They look for, a certain pattern. So just make sure you emphasize all that stuff, and once you get that, you'll get a test date. And there's a website. And if you reach out to DL, that everybody that I've worked with that has used the site like you're supposed to has had success. Okay. Yeah. Once again, the people that have contacted us and have asked for our help, we don't get any money from this site. We don't have anything to do with it. We don't get any money from anybody. But this site is where I send people to go. And when they've, there's a fee for the site. I want to say it's like $99 for, I don't know, maybe $100 for 3 months or something. I don't know, study materials or whatever. But everybody that has used that has passed the test. And I think one of the guys here actually used it as well and has passed the test. And another way you can do it, and, I've been told this, I don't know anybody that's done this, but this is what I've been told, is that if you take like a ground school for a pilot ground school. They don't cost much. They can actually help you with that test as well. There's a lot of aviation related questions on there. So I wish I'd have had one of the girls on here. I didn't even think about it, and had them tell you kind of what's on the test and what it looks like and that kind of thing. But I want to say the test isn't difficult, but it is. So take it seriously, study for real. Once again, the girls I had that are already at their facilities now, I worked with them one-on-one to prepare for the test. They used the website, and actually I went over it with them and stuff like that for the test.
Yeah. So Jay Swans and his wife would sit them down and they would go over everything and make sure, like, they help them with the testing, ask them questions. So I mean, he was really did them a solid. Because of proximity, they were in the same hood or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it takes a lot of work, y'all. Y'all can't just be sitting around and phone this in. Like, if they make this difficult for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, it is. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm having that good Starbucks coffee.
Is that what that is? Brother Tommy B's in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you. So, and just so you guys know, there is a cutoff. You can't be 30. You can't be age 31 at the time that they make the offer. Is that correct? It's like you
have to be 31 by your start date.
By your start date. So the day you actually get the offer letter, like you start on this date, you can't be over 31.
Yeah. So if you turn 31 January 2nd, but you start on January 1st, you're in. Okay. So you have to be hired before your 31st birthday.
Okay. Not invited to the academy and not hired.
Yes.
So is that technically being hired, getting to the academy?
I think once you get an academy date, an official date, not that tentative offer letter, but the actual offer letter, then you're hired.
You're hired. Okay.
And the thing is and they'll know what your birthday is. So if it's that close, you'll get hired before that date. They'll know what your birthday is. And if you get hired, let's say you get hired January 2nd, but your birthday is January 1st, call them and say, hey, my birthday is January 1st, that kind of thing. And you'll have numbers and you'll have contact information. You'll have emails. Reach out to them and let them know. And they'll adjust it from there.
Yeah.
Okay,
they really want you. Yeah, that's the thing. The government really needs air traffic controllers right now. So the USA Jobs thing, I didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that when we got in.
This was before USA Jobs, before we got hired. We did actually fill out paperwork.
Right. We had to do paperwork.
Yeah.
So, but you've dealt, because you were in management, you've dealt with these systems. Can we talk about the systems for a hot second? Like when they go in to do that, like upload their application, upload their resume, what are the tricks of the trades? I know one of the things is you want to be constantly saving as you go, right?
Yeah. So here are your options. You can either do your resume yourself and upload it. Okay. What I suggest is you use the resume format on USA Jobs, because if
do they have it here? Want me to pull it up? Do they have it here?
Yeah, it's on there. Well, you have to log into it to see how to do your resume.
Oh, okay.
You have to log into it. But use USA Jobs. Well, first thing you got to do is create an account. And once again, don't wait until, the rumor is that the new job announcement is going to come out April 19th. Don't wait until April 18th at midnight or whatever to set it up. Do it now, okay? Because it can be kind of complicated. But set up, log in the USA Jobs, get your login, get that all set up. Then use the resume format they have on there, and they'll walk you through it. They'll ask you if you want to upload a resume or if you want to use their resume. Use their resume format. Cut and paste your stuff and stick it in their format. Because if it's not done in the proper format, it'll kick it back. And you won't even know that it's been rejected. They just, all the information we needed wasn't there. You're not a qualified candidate. Have a nice day. Okay. So use their format to make sure you have all the information there. After you've got that uploaded into the system, when the announcement does come out. So like I said, the rumor is it's coming out April 19th. April 19th at midnight, when that thing comes out, all you got to do is hit apply, which if you had the screen up there, you could see where it just says apply.
Yeah, I got to pull it up right now.
All right.
Yeah. So there it is right there.
All you got to do is click apply. It'll go to another page. And then, all you do is they say, do you want to use this resume? You say yes. Boom. That resume is in the system. Okay. Once you do that, you're done. I mean, it'll say your resume has been accepted. You're done at that point. Now, the problem is when these announcements come out, okay, contrary to what Reddit tells you, these are hot jobs. So everybody is trying to get in there at the same time. And I'm telling you, the rumor is April 19th. I suggest you start looking around April 15th and you check it every day until you see it, because everybody's going to be in there trying to upload the system at the same time. And I want to say 2 years ago, the system crashed. They had like 30,000 applicants in like 20 minutes.
Yep.
Okay. So you want to get in there and just keep doing it. You know, one of the young ladies that was from here, she said that basically, you know, she set her alarm for 11:30. She called out of work the next day and she just sat there and she saw it pop up. She said it popped up like at 1:15 in the morning or something. And she said, as soon as it popped up, she hit it. Okay. And she said that when she hit it, the system, it kept spinning, you know, it was buffering, kept buffering. She logged out, logged back in, did it again. It buffered. She logged out the third time and hit it and it accepted it. And, you know, then she sent me a screenshot at like 1:30 in the morning of her applying, which I was like, you know, that's why I do not disturb on my phone. But she was really excited because, you know, and she thought that when she did that, she was in, you know, I'm like, well, no, that's just phase one. That's just step one. But she got it in the system. The other girl, she didn't get it until like the next day. I think that the second or third day, she said she kept trying. The system just wouldn't accept it. Finally, it accepted it. And she had, I think she had her mom, because her mom didn't work. She had her mom home just hitting it, just constantly hitting it. But that's because there were so many people applying. It jams the system up. And I think what happened last year, I think they shut the bid down early last year because they had so many applicants. It was supposed to be out for 3 days. I think they shut it down for 2 days because they had so many applicants.
So the key is step one, make sure y'all get into USA Jobs right now and set up your account. Go into the login features, set up an account, do all that stuff. And then you said step two would be figure out a way to get your resume in there and use their system. You said that's really key.
Use their format. Don't try to do it on your own. Don't trust, you know, your friend from around the corner. Don't let your parents do it for you. I've done red. Don't do that. Use the USA Jobs resume format, because if you use that format, if you use the system to get your resume together, it will have everything that they're looking for. All right. Your parents have never been air traffic controllers, and most of them have not had government jobs. They do not know what they're talking about. Do not trust them or your friends. Okay. Do this on your own. I know there's some people going, well, my parents know. Okay. You're trying to be an air traffic controller, be an adult, and do it yourself. All right. Okay. So after you get your resume uploaded into the system, all right, basically at that point, you're just sitting and waiting, checking your emails. All right. Checking the system. Okay. When you see referred, I suggest you check your email and your spam folder every day. Okay. For the next, basically a year, every day. Because once the announcement's done, I want to say they try to hire people within 5 to 6 months, or try to contact them for a test date within 5 or 6 months. Because last year it was what? It was it early June last year? I don't remember when it was exactly. But they were contacting people through August and September for test dates in October and November. So, you know, so basically just check it every day. Okay. Once you get a test date, they give you a window to take a test. All right. Push that window out as far as you can. You only get one shot at the test anyway. Okay. Push that test date out as far as you can. So if November 29th is the last day you can test November 29th or November 28th or whatever. Just make sure you get there. The key is you want to have as much study time as possible.
Okay.
All right. And you want to study up until the date. Up until, like, if your test is at 8 o'clock Monday morning, study until 10 o'clock Sunday night. Okay. Don't study and then say, okay, you know, I'm good. I'm going to take this week off, because the information, you're not going to retain the information like you need it to. Okay. You're going to think you're good. You're going to think you got it. You're going to be Billy Badass. Study until the last minute. Okay. It's like learning a foreign language. Everything you're learning is most of the stuff you have not seen before. You've never dealt with it before. Get as much in as you can. Now, I'm not saying study for, 10 hours a day, 20 hours a day. Okay. I'm just saying get as much study time as you can. All right, prior to that test. Then
and every day you want to be doing something, air traffic. Like you want to be reading something or studying something or doing some sort of. I understand that website you were saying, and you guys want to know the name of the website. Just hit me up. My Instagram is below. I'll send it to you. But they have a really good pre-test.
Yeah, and like I said, everybody that's used it has passed. Everybody that we've sat down with and used this thing has passed that I've worked with. Okay. Like I said, the girls were here and we would study for about 3 hours a day. They'd want to study longer. And I'm like, no, take a break. Take a break. You can't, it's like learning a foreign language. Now, as they got better at it, because they took, I want to say they studied for about a month and a half before they took the test, both of them. And by the time they took the test, the study time they were doing had increased, but it was easier. They knew what they were talking about. And then the study stuff that I was doing, I took it beyond the test, because I felt that they were pretty comfortable with the test stuff. So I gave them information. I started teaching them actual air traffic, talking to them about the academy and stuff like that. But yeah, about 2.5, 3 hours a day, I'd say, depending on, your mileage may vary type thing, but 2.5, 3 hours a day, I think is probably the most time you should spend studying. Just don't take a week off and then go take the test. That'll be a killer. Just that night, don't be cramming that night. And I'm going to get it in. I'll just do this that one time. Don't do that either. Take your time and build it slowly. It's like learning a foreign language. My wife was not a controller and she would be there when I was studying. She's listened to recordings of me at work. My mom would listen to recordings and they would tell me it just sounds like I'm speaking a foreign language, but to us, it seems normal. So study. Stay focused. Okay. This job is, you have to be mature for this job. It's definitely a career field that you have to be mature. And you'll get people say, well, not all air traffic control. I know someone, they're pretty much idiots. Yeah, they are. There's some idiots out there, but when they're actually working, they know their job. They know their stuff. Okay. Yeah. Now we can armchair quarterback lots of them.
And we do.
Yeah, we do. But they know their jobs. One thing about air traffic controllers, you know your jobs. Your personality, they want you to be an alpha type personality. So even the people that are that we work with that I would consider meek or passive, they're meek or passive in a group of alphas. So they're just not the strongest alpha, but they're still alpha. So you have to have an alpha mentality. You have to have a level of maturity. I don't think you have to be that bright, really, but you have to think the way that they want you to think. They want you to be able to focus. They want you to be able to concentrate. They want you to have a good memory and be able to analyze things and make decisions quickly. If you're a person that cannot make decisions quickly, then this is probably not the career field for you. You're going to be very frustrated. You're going to be stressed a lot. It's probably not the career field for you. They want you to think clearly, think quickly, and make a decision, right or wrong. Stand by your decision. Okay. Because once again, playing armchair quarterback, I've worked where I've had to analyze runaway incidents and this and that. And I sit back all day and I'm like, well, I don't know why this person would do this or why this person would do that. Well, I'm looking at it from there's no stress. I've got nothing going on except what I'm seeing right in front of me. That controller at the time could have had 150,000 things going on. I don't know. But okay, back to the hiring process. So now you've passed the test. All right. You're walking around, you're high-fiving your friends. You're telling everybody you're going to be a controller. Yeah. Well, here comes the fun part. They're going to schedule you a physical. Okay. You have to pass a flight physical. So if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, what else are these kids having nowadays that they shouldn't have until they're in their 60s?
Well, I mean, even with corrected lenses and prescriptions, like, for your eyes, your hearing, if you have some form of tinnitus, that could be a problem. Like, so whatever is for you military cats, whatever you got in your military jacket, they might see. So you have to tell them.
Well, okay. If you're only medical is your VA. They might have access to your VA medical records. Okay. So just be aware of that. Now, I'm not sure how that plays into it, but just be aware. So if you're in there talking about, you're claiming PTSD, saying you're hearing voices and everything else, and they find out about it, you can kiss that job goodbye. Okay?
Automatic disqualification.
Now, I'm not saying you're disqualified if you have PTSD. I'm not even saying they can get a hold of it. But if they find out that you're hearing voices or something like that, they're going to disqualify you. Okay. So be very careful about who you talk to about what's going on in your head, because I know some of y'all have claimed some stuff on your VA stuff that, I work with veterans, and believe me, I've seen some stuff claimed that I'm like this. Wow. Okay. If they let it go, they let it go. Okay. So be aware of who you're talking to at that point. Okay. Color vision. You cannot be colorblind. All right. You have to pass a color vision test. If you're colorblind,
and same thing with depth perception.
Yep. You got to pass that. So if you have those issues, it's a no-go. Now, don't disqualify yourself. Be like, well, sometimes I can't see this. Don't disqualify yourself. Okay. I'm just saying, be aware of what's going on. Okay. You have to have 20/20 vision corrected. So yes, you can wear glasses as long as they can correct you to 20/20 vision. Okay.
And when you go through this process, like Jay Swans just said, don't pull yourself. Let them tell you no. Until they tell you no, you are still a go. Just keep going.
Keep going. All right. And like I said, be careful who you're talking to. All right. Don't go in there. Like I said, I've seen the PTSD thing kill somebody. And it wasn't, I've seen people with PTSD get through the process. The reason they killed the guy was because he went in there talking about he's hearing voices and everything else. All right. And you are not going to be talking to planes if you're hearing voices. Okay. Facts. And that's exactly what he did. He went there and told the doctor because he was worried that the FAA flight examiner would talk to his talk to his VA doctor, and he would lose his VA benefits. Okay. I'm pretty sure the two don't talk. Okay. The VA can't just arbitrarily send your information out. All right. So don't go volunteering a bunch of stuff. Let them go look for it. If they have a problem, they say, hey, we have a problem with this. They'll go look they'll tell you that they're going to look for it. They'll ask you to sign a waiver so they can look for it and talk to other people. I forgot what it's called. They'll ask you to sign something where they can communicate. But don't be volunteering a whole lot of stuff. Okay.
In other words, don't give them a reason to go looking for stuff.
Yes. If they ask you, hey, do you have any felonies? Okay. The answer is, if you have one, yes. And this is what it's for. All right. Let them disqualify you. Like I said, some stuff gets through. They let some stuff go. But like when it comes to, drug charges, felony drug arrests, violence, using a weapon, stuff like that, chances are it's not going to go through. But be honest with them and let them know. Okay. Let them do their thing. Because once again, I know somebody that applied and he thought that he had a felony arrest when he was a juvenile. And they did the thing and they let him go through and, he kept his mouth shut, but he went and looked it up later on. And it was a misdemeanor. Somewhere along the line, it got marked down to a misdemeanor. Okay. So go ahead, put it out there. All right. Now, here's the magic question. Have you ever smoked marijuana? Thank you. Okay. I have never smoked marijuana. All right. Don't go in there and be like, well, at 16, I did this. Okay.
When that question comes up, you Bill Clinton.
Thank you.
Like Bill Clinton. Like
thank you. I can't.
Bill Clinton be like, hold on. Nah, I ain't never smoked marijuana.
There you go. I'm not saying lie. Tell the truth. Okay. Moving on. So you go through that process, right?
But I got it. Here's something. If you were prescribed marijuana or CBD or something like that, that might be something new, because when we went through the process, you couldn't be prescribed that stuff.
Yeah. Look, so I would tell you this: if you are thinking about getting a marijuana card and you want to be an air traffic controller, I suggest you not get that marijuana card. Okay. I don't know what the process is. I don't know what their thought process is on it. But do you want to fly on a plane knowing that the pilot or the air traffic controller is possibly smoking weed? And then if you have a marijuana card and it's for medical reasons, they're going to want to know why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to want to know why. I can't sleep at night. Boop, disqualified.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't give them a reason. Be honest. You know, can they test for marijuana 5 years ago? Nope. So I'm just saying, be honest, but don't, just be honest. I'm trying to think how I can say this without, what I'm saying, without putting it all out there. Just be honest, okay? Once you get to that process, then once again, it's to sit and wait. Now, some of the people in the chat could probably tell you how it works now. I know for D and I, it was more, we got a call from somebody that said, hey, look, I got a job opening here. Do you want to go, yes or no? And if we said no, then they moved us to the bottom of the list. All right, we'll call you again in 6 months if you're still available. So if they call you with a job, take it, okay? If it's going to I'm lost and there's no sun up here, Alaska, then you're going to I'm lost, there's no sun up here in Alaska.
If it's Puerto Rico, you're going to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, there it is, okay? And when you now see, once again, it may be different for us because we didn't have to go to the academy. We went straight to our facilities. Okay, I'm not sure if they give you I should have asked the girls. No, I don't think they got their location until they were at the academy.
I believe your last day after you've completed everything, they give you your assignment. At least that's how it was in 2009 when I was in Miami. I was talking to a bunch of people, new hires off the street, and they were like racing to the facilities from Oklahoma. So they were like, they got there like, oh, we're going to Miami, and they just like was headed straight to Florida.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that's what it is. I forgot to ask the girls, but you just go where they tell you. Now, if you want to increase your chances of getting hired, okay, when you do the paperwork and they ask you, where would you like to go, kind of thing. If you put down, I want to be in Miami, then you know what, you'll probably get hired sometime in 2028 because everybody under the age of 30 would love to be in Miami. Okay. Yeah. If you want to increase your chances, pick New York. Nobody wants to go to New York because of the cost of living. California, same thing. Alaska, it's just cold. All right. Now, the things about going to those three places, New York and California, you get paid, you get a cost of living allowance on top of your salary. So let's say your base salary is $100,000 a year. All right. I know when I left California, I was in the Bay Area and it was 38%, I think, 38 or 39% cost of living. So I'm getting basically $40,000 a year base salary to be in the Bay Area, be near San Francisco, those areas like that.
And we keep saying base salary, in case you guys are wondering what we're talking about. That's how much you make before you get any other premium pay.
Yeah.
You get paid for working on Sundays, for instance. You get paid for working extra for working at night. You get holiday pay, of course. You get paid overtime and stuff like that. So you figure, what is it, about 20%? You can factor in about 20%. And
what I would always tell people is add about $20,000 to what your base salary. Okay. So so I mean the pay is great. Now, I looked at Reddit this morning before I got on here because that Reddit thing really irritates us if DL didn't tell you, because people go on Reddit asking questions, and it's funny. Like half the people on Reddit were either people that didn't get air traffic control jobs or they know an air traffic controller. You might get one or two that are controllers on there, and they say all kinds of nonsense.
Well, because they're about to wash out of their program and get kicked and get fired. So there's a lot of levels to it. So once you get into the academy, you make it through the academy, you get to your facility wherever it is. Let's say they send you to Sarasota. You're gonna go to Sarasota, Florida, and work at Sarasota Tower.
Sarasota a 6, or used to be a 6.
Yeah, I think like a 6 or something like that. Yeah. So, which isn't, not a very, not very busy, a little complex, but not a very busy tower. A good place to start. You aren't considered an air traffic controller until you finish training there. Wherever you go, you're gonna have to do on-the-job training. So simply because you finished the academy does not mean you're an air traffic controller. But that means you got the green light to go to the next level.
Yeah.
So once you get to that first facility, wherever it is, you have to get through that local training program. And once you get through that, that could take a year, 2 years, 3 years, depending on where they send you.
Or who's training.
Once you get through that, now you're an air traffic controller. Now you finally made it.
Yeah, now you have the ability to work under general supervision, which a lot of people will complete their training and all of a sudden they're superstars. They know everything until everything goes bad.
Right. And know nothing. If, my first supervisor would tell me, okay, when I certified at my very first facility, like, okay, now you've earned the license to kill. And that's basically what it is. You're going out here, you can work on your own under general supervision, you can work by yourself, you can do all this kind of things, and you're 100% responsible.
Yeah. And like anything else, you start out nervous and you get way too comfortable, and that's a whole nother thing. But so back to the process. So you've got you did your application, you took the test, you did your physical, you did your background check, you got your locations. Okay. The academy. All right. The academy is like I said, I don't even know how it is now. Like I said, once again, it's been, we didn't go to the academy, but it's been so long. I went there for different training courses, but I was never there as a air traffic student. But from what I gather, the academy, it gets pretty intense. From talking to people that have been there, I think the washout rate is like 30%.
Wow.
At the academy. So, you've got classroom stuff and then you have labs. So, go to the academy. It's going to be real easy to get caught up in the mix. There's parties going on. Like I said, I was there for classes, for other classes and different things. And the academy kids was going wild. They was partying and, like I said, you got money. It's college with money. A lot of them were away from home for the first time, which surprised me. But
we were military, so it didn't. I wanted to comment on what you said about taking that first facility. When we got hired under the VRA, Veterans Relocation Act, I was in Cincinnati, and they're asking me, they're like, "Do you want to work in Cincinnati?" And my answer was, "I'll go wherever you need me. I want to go now." And they're like, "Okay." So they sent me. She's like, "Okay, we're gonna send you to Northern California." Fine. And within a few months, I had paperwork and I was going to California. Wound up being Southern California, but whatever.
Yeah. If
I wanted to work in Cincinnati, Jay Swans was right. It would have taken probably a year and a half.
If ever.
Yeah.
At the bottom of that list.
Right. Well, and there was a lot of people who wanted to go to Cincinnati. It was a great place to work. Still is. Like CVG is a great place to work. So I just wanted to go wherever the first available. I'd have gone to Alaska. I'd have gone to Guam. I'd have gone wherever. Yeah. So make sure there are people out there like, nope, I don't want to leave home. Okay. You're only hurting yourself.
It was surprising. I know when I first got hired, I got a call and they said, I'm going to Rancho Marietta. I said, where's that? She said, do you want it or not? Now, mind you, it was a different time and we're dealing with different people. Okay. So let me get that straight. But the lady literally said to me, do you want it or not? And I was like, okay, I'll figure it out from there. And so, yeah, but once again, this was almost 25 years ago. So it was definitely a different time. But the bottom line is don't pass up the opportunity. It's going to be there. So, okay. So we've now we're at the facility. Okay. You're there living. All right. It's like any other job. You show up at your facility. They're not going to hold your hand. They're not babysitters. It's like showing up for a new company. Just like if someone told you you're going to McDonald's and you live in Tampa, Florida, you're not going to work at McDonald's in Atlanta, Georgia. All right. It's just like that. Find your own housing. They may give you a list of places that are in a list of apartments in the area. Find your own housing. And a lot of people will say, well, I can't afford to live here. You'll find a way. Okay. You know what I mean?
You were dealing with people living in their van.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I had someone living in their van. That was crazy. And she didn't have to. She was paying her boyfriend's apartment. Yeah, it's that situation. Back to that red pill stuff. But but yeah, find yourself an apartment, a low-level facility in California in the San Francisco Bay Area. It was a level 5 facility. And this was back like in 2017, 2018. The base salary was $95,000 a year for a new controller. And then after certification, they were all making around 115 to 120 a year. Okay. Base salary. All right. They had to, the furthest person lived about, I want to say maybe 40 minutes away. And they had it was a single guy. He had a 1-bedroom apartment and he was paying $1,800 a month. No, $2,000 a month. Okay.
I'm about to say, boy, that was $1,800 in the Bay. Woo.
Yeah. He lived closer to the valley. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So he was paying about $2,000 a month. And I don't know what $120,000 works out to be a year, but I'm sure it wasn't that much of his salary. Okay. And as you progress through your career, you get pay raises every year. Like every year you get pay raises.
Yep.
So for those of you who are like, well, I'm not going to make enough money to live. Well, you know what? Most jobs, you don't start out making all the money in the world. As an air traffic controller, you start out making really good money. Okay. You're going to suffer in the beginning if you live in a place like San Francisco, or you live in a place like Manhattan, New York, or, places like that. You're going to suffer for a little while, but you'll find a way to make it work. You'll move out further. You'll commute. You'll get a roommate, which a lot of people did, especially in San Francisco area. A lot of them got roommates and they were just splitting the costs. But, eventually you make the money. The way you get huge pay raises is you change facilities. So you start out like at a level 5 facility or level 6, like Sarasota is a small airport. You start out like a small airport like Sarasota. And Sarasota people, and I'm just guessing this, they go from Sarasota to probably, Clearwater? That's over there? St. Pete.
Well, you got St. Pete.
Yeah, you go from like Sarasota probably to St. Pete. And then you go, because it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more complexity. And then from St. Pete, you'll go to Tampa. That sort of thing. That's how you kind of get your big pay raises. You got to move up. Okay.
Yeah. Or you can take a big jump. You can go from Sarasota to Fort Lauderdale, going from like a little airport to like a international airport, tower only, and then go from Fort Lauderdale to either Miami Tower, which is a TRACON radar inner tower, or Miami Center, and that's just jumping all the way to the top. You're not going to get any higher than that. You know what I mean?
Unless you go to I think they're doing away with the super TRACONs. I think they're doing away with those.
Yeah, they were talking about doing away with them, but you go to like basically, so in that instance, you go from like a level 6 facility to like a level 9 facility, and then to a 12. 12's the top.
12's the top. Yeah. And that's for tower stuff. Now you have radar facilities. They have the centers. And, I mentioned super TRACONs, and those are radar facilities as well, but that's getting too much in the weeds.
Yeah, we ain't going to talk about them. Yeah.
And, if you, like the center, that's the radar controllers. That's the ones you see staring at the scope and the blips. I never had any interest in getting near the radar. I sat and watched it one day and I was like, nah, this is, it seemed way too complicated for me. But a lot of people love it. They tell you wherever you go first, that's what you fall in love with. I think it's because that's what you actually go to school for. And they take their time to teach you. Whereas when you go to your facility for training, they expect you to know a lot more than you know. They expect you to be more professional, be more on top of it. But like all these centers, I think they're all 12s. They're all top facilities. And the reason that they are is because there's so many different areas within a center, within a radar facility. Like in an airport, in a tower, you work at your airport. So if you're at Tampa Airport or you're at Sarasota Airport, you learn Sarasota Airport. If you go to a center, the centers will control airspace from Miami all the way up to Georgia. Okay. Stuff like that. So there's more space to operate in. So there's more stuff to learn. So you get more money. Okay. Once people get to centers, they usually stay there. Once people get to those level 12 facilities, usually I want to say level 10 to 12. Once they get to those facilities, they usually stay at those places because it takes so long to train. Like Sarasota training program might be 6 months to a year. Miami might be 2 years. Okay. Jacksonville Center might be 3 years. It just depends on the location of your airport kind of thing and your experience level as well.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Once you get in as an air traffic controller and you certify somewhere, it's real difficult to lose your job.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's really difficult.
You
And
gotta do something stupid.
yeah, you got to do something extremely stupid, maybe twice, to actually lose your job. The union is really strong. It's hard to fire someone.
Yeah.
It can be done. I mean, it can be done. It was a dude that was robbing banks in the
That
Bay
was
Area.
San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a dude that was robbing banks. I don't think they ever fired him. I think he resigned.
I think he did resign. Yeah.
They didn't fire him. He quit. He resigned so he can go to prison.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going to fire him for robbing banks. They were going to fire him for missing work because he got convicted and had to go to jail.
Yeah. They spend so much money training you that, they do everything to hold on to. Then the union is really strong. Like I always tell people, when I was just a controller, I loved the union. Okay. When I got into management, I hated the union because the union is strong, and I learned a little bit more when I was in management, and I disagreed with some of the union's tactics, but they were effective. So I can't be mad at it. The union's tactics are very effective. So, joining the union is a big thing. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I was a management guy towards the end. I couldn't stand the union, but if I was a new controller coming in the agency, I would try to join the union as soon as possible.
It's the first thing you want to do. They're going to look out for you. Mandrill, your favorite snake is in the building. What's good, brother Mandrill?
And also, several different employee associations. You have Hispanic, you have Black, you have Asian.
You have gay, lesbian, queer. What got that? I mean, there's an organization for everything within the FAA.
And I've always told people, get involved with as many as you can. All right. When you're in training, get involved with them, but don't make it a priority in your life. And if the organization is any good, they'll tell you, hey, you know what? We'll come to our events, but your focus right now is training. Do not get involved. Even the union will tell you that. I don't think they even talk to you about joining the union really until you're almost through training, right? Or they get you right in there right away.
They'll talk to you when you get to the facility, but the good facilities won't let you do anything with the union until you're done training. They're like, you can join, but they don't I'm gonna run for this office. No, you're not. You're gonna get through training first, and then you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So I mean, but I tell people all the time, it's definitely an amazing career field. It's very lucrative. The retirement, 25 years of government service at any age, or 20 years at age 50. And when you retire, you get your retirement. You get your full benefits when you retire. You get medical, you get a monthly stipend. You also, you get a pension. On top of your pension, you have a 401k. We call it TSP. You really don't have to do anything if you manage your money right. You don't have to do anything after you retire. Barring something catastrophic, that kind of stuff. But
even if you mess up your money, you're getting paid a pension after you retire. So 20 years in, 25 years in, you're fairly young, you're getting a pension, you're getting paid to wake up. And then if you're a vet, you throw in your VA benefits on top of that. There's people making anywhere between $60,000 and $90,000 just to wake up.
Yeah, I would say the cheapest I've heard from anybody is like 60 grand, 50 grand. And they retired from like a real low level facility because it's based on your high three. The highest amount of money you made for 3 years in the FAA is what your pension is based on. So, if the highest level facility you worked at was was a level 5, which is the smallest in Oklahoma, you're not going to get as much as someone who worked at, LAX in California.
Or Chicago or Miami.
Exactly. So, you want to, so just be aware of that. But the retirement's great. The medical benefits, which to me, the medical is more important than the financial, because the medical insurance is expensive. I don't know what. But yeah, and you can retire young. Like I said, D and I are both retired and been retired for a couple of years, which is crazy. It has gone by fast, huh?
Yeah, we've been tired. More than a couple of years. So this is why we like to talk about this. I know. Go back and watch our other videos about being an air traffic controller. They might be more in depth when it comes to the actual application process. One of the videos we pulled up the actual bid, went through step by step what this means, what that means. Work experience. A lot of people talk about, I don't have work experience. If you worked at McDonald's or Target
you have
a year, That's your work experience, and then you meet that qualification. It does not. It's not you need work experience in the field. You don't have to in aviation or air traffic. Just in general in life, most people have it.
I talked to the guy that that does my yard, that cuts my grass. His son is like 22, and he's working with him. I talked to his son about it. And his son is like, "Why? I don't have the work experience." And I'm like, "How long you been cutting grass?" And he's like, "Oh, since I was 16." Then you have 8 years of work experience. And I started explaining to him how to rewrite his resume, how to do this. So a lot of times people don't realize how much experience they actually have at doing something.
Right.
You'd be really surprised. If you sit down and you get away from the obvious, I cut grass. No, you manage, maintain, you oversaw, a business, and within that business, you managed X amount of people, you coordinated, you ordered, materials, just a lot of stuff like that. So, you just have to expand your horizons a little bit, and this just doesn't go for the air traffic jobs. Get on USA Jobs and look around in there. You'll be surprised at the jobs that are available. There's a lot of remote positions. There's a lot of telework positions where you go in the office once a week. There are a lot of positions, and just like the military, the government gives jobs really impressive sounding names.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Program analyst and management. All right. That could be anything from a secretary, okay, all the way up to
the guy who runs the video machine when they watch presentations.
Exactly. So don't let this stuff scare you away. Actually get on there and apply for these things. Let them tell you no, even if you don't think you're qualified, because they'll write job descriptions up that I find to be hilarious, especially when I know what the job is. Like my wife, she underwrites or analyzes grants or something like that for the government. And I look at her job description and I'm like, what does this even mean? Like this isn't even in English. And then she'll tell me what her job is in like 2 sentences. She'll say, "Oh, I just make sure that grants are filled out properly." Something like that. And so just don't let the government thing intimidate you. A lot of people will tell you that it's hard to get a government job. It is not. I think it's easier to get government jobs than it is to get jobs in the private sector. The stuff I went through to work with homeless veterans, I'm a retired air traffic controller, air traffic manager with 20 plus years of experience and a whole lot of stuff. Okay. And it was harder for me to get this job working with homeless veterans than it was to get the air traffic control job. I'm like, why is it taking me, 2 months to complete a background check? What are you guys doing? What do you mean you want high school transcripts?
Right.
What is that? Okay. I'm like, you think that I would be able to be in the military and be an air traffic control manager of major airports but I didn't graduate high school? What kind of stuff is that?
Right.
And so the government doesn't ask you for high school transcripts. I feel like they just assume that you graduated high school because you found the website. Because I don't think that I've ever seen anybody ask for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I never had to give any proof, like a diploma. No, because we were VRA. Like you're in the Army. You couldn't join. You cannot join the Army without a high school diploma or equivalent.
There you go. College transcripts. I think they might have you provide those. But once again, I think that's more for specific positions.
If you provide your college transcripts, that's for points. You don't even need to. You just got to prove you took the course, and then that gives you points. Like I got a bachelor, I got an associate, I got whatever.
Exactly.
And that's not. But I didn't have to do that to get in.
No. So there you go. Yo, and all you veterans, you should be applying for every government job you see because you're going to get preference points over everybody else because you're a veteran. And anybody that says that that's not fair, fuck you. Okay. Yeah, they're veterans. They served this country. They deserve them points. Okay. Because I've heard people say, well, that's not fair. You know what? Then you take your butt out there and you risk your life and then you come back and, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, like, let me push you out. I'm going to push you out the door of a C-130.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You put your body through what we put our bodies through.
That probably wasn't appropriate for this podcast, but that's just how I feel, and I've had
it is what it is. We're retired. We can say what we want to say. Yeah. So yeah, we got Scam Likely in the building. You know what I mean? Dusto showed up in this joint. What's good, fam? So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. We've talked about this for an hour, guys. But again, go back and watch our other videos when we got really detailed into how you do it. But the big thing is, you want to apply for this opportunity. This is an opportunity that will definitely change your life. Step one, man, go to USAJOBS.gov right now and set up an account. Even before the announcement comes out, you need to have that set up. Go in there, hit the sign in icon, set up an account, get all that stuff ready. Get your resume and all that stuff ready. Step two, upload your information using the USAJOBS.gov format. So you want to upload everything using their format so it doesn't get kicked back, right? Step three, check your email every single day. Once you get into this thing and they say they have accepted your application, they've accepted your information, it's up to you to continuously check and scan your emails, including your spam. The government, they're a big machine. And the people who are working or just doing what they do, if their job is to send out this information to you, they're going to send you the email. They're not going to call you, right? They're not going to pester you. You know what I mean? And it sounds like they're going to give you 3 opportunities. You get that last chance email, you better, and once it's done, it's done. You got to start over from scratch.
No, nobody's going to hold your hand. Nobody's going to hold your hand through this.
No one's going to hold your hand. The closest people who's going to get to holding your hand is probably me and Jay Swans. And we're just going to, you can hit me up. And if I don't have an answer, I'll hit him up and then we'll figure out whatever. Don't go to Reddit. No. You know what I mean? That's just one of the things, like, do not go to Reddit thinking, you're going to figure this stuff out. It's because it's right here. And I mean, I'm looking at some of this stuff and it's like, what the hell?
You're dealing with a lot of
just looking at some of this stuff.
That don't know what they're talking about. If nothing else, DL can, I can pick up the phone right now and call somebody that's actually working as a manager of a major airport in this country, or pick up somebody that's gotten to be pretty high in the union, and I can get whatever answers you want. Okay. Yeah. Don't go to Reddit looking for answers, because you're dealing with it's the internet. Okay. And just like on YouTube, a whole lot of people that talk about a whole lot of stuff they don't know about. And but they sound like they know what they're talking about. So therefore it must be right. And that's going to get you in trouble. Yeah. It's absolutely going to get you. Here's a kid here. I don't know how old this is. Someone out of high school. They're like, they heard about the ATC thing. They're interested. And let's see what people said. And they're like 3 years of general work experience. Huh? Yeah, that's right.
3 years of general work experience. And they say like fast food, retail qualifiers, training you can get either through the military or on the job. Honestly, whether you get a job and succeed in ATC is a 99% complete crapshoot. It's like your best bet is, this is what this guy's saying. Your best bet is to make plans for some other career and try to get into ATC on the side. Wow. That doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. Yeah. He's saying like the chances are you're not going to get the job, but whatever. And I think what that person probably meant was apply for the job. It's like that old philosophy. I don't know who came up with this thing, but hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Plan for the worst. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what that person was getting at. But if that high school kid has a weak constitution, and he's like, damn, there's no chance I'm going to get this job, I might as well look at something else. He just wasted his time, kind of thing. But that's just an example of what you can find on Reddit. And I mean, it is what it is. These kids today, they look at this as like, this is the gospel. It's like, look, bro, that's just a bunch of people talking about whatever. You don't know who these people are, what they're doing. They might not know anything about air traffic control. Jay Swans can get a hold of anybody in upper management. I can get a hold of anybody in upper leadership of the union. So between the two of us, we can get you the answer for today. The real answer. What I mean? The real answers. And here's the other thing too. Do not let your friends and family talk you out of applying. Okay. I tell you, this is my own personal pet peeve. I'm gonna get up here on my soapbox real quick. Nothing else bothers me more than when I talk to a young man or young woman about being an air traffic controller, and they get all excited about it and they're all ready to go, for them to call me back a couple of days later and say, hey, you know what? I spoke with my mom, or I spoke with my dad or my aunt or whatever, and they told me that job is really stressful, and there's a high suicide rate, and
I really shouldn't do it, so I'm not going to do it. My first thought when I hear that is, you know what, you got weak genes anyway. You know what, go ahead and go somewhere. But if I really believe that person, and mind you, I don't waste my time talking to people I don't think can do it. I really don't. DL's, once again, he's way nicer than me. Everybody thinks I'm the nice one. DL's way nicer than me. If I don't think that you are mature enough to handle it, if I don't think that you have the mental capacity, I don't waste my breath. And if I do talk to you about it, then I believe in you, probably more than you believe in yourself. And I've gotten pretty good at doing this because I've gotten a lot of people hired into the agency. And I think everybody that I've got into the agency has actually succeeded and is somewhere working. And I'm talking, I've gotten 19-year-old kids hired into the agency that were making $150,000 a year before their 21st birthday. Okay. So if I'm talking to you about it, I'm serious. And trust me, I know more than your parents do about it. Okay. And your parents are just, I think when parents do that, I think they're just, their whole thing is, well, I know my kids. Well, no, I think that you're afraid your kids will succeed and leave home, basically.
Yeah, they don't want the kids to leave.
Yeah. But no, so believe in yourself, trust in yourself, know what your capabilities are and go for it. Step out there, step out the door. You know what I mean? Step out the door, let the wind do the rest.
Yes, and get your knees in the breeze.
There you go. And find your success. Like I said, I got 2 ladies here that were waitresses, okay, in a rural county that didn't tell anybody that they even applied. And I don't think one girl told her parents until about 3 days before she was leaving because they didn't want anybody to talk them out of it. And the funny thing was, even now, when we go out to eat at the place, the clubhouse here, and people talk to us about it, they're like, well, we're really surprised they were able to make it. I'm like, why?
And this is where we differ because I'd have been playing dumb. What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. They got hired by the FAA. Oh, I didn't know nothing about that. Brother Mandrell's like, you have to tell people how to apply for those jobs. We did. We covered it. Yeah, he jumped in late. We covered it. But again, there's another video that's really in depth. USAJOBS.gov. Like I said, guys, if you're trying to do this, get in there now. We can't stress that enough. Get in there today. And just play around in there, you know what I mean? No Diddy. Play around in there and figure out, guys. That's Jay Swan's favorite saying now.
Right.
So
get in there, feel around in there, play around with it, wiggle it around. Yes, Diddy.
Yes, Diddy.
No, really, go in there. Sign in online now, create an account, and start applying for different jobs now. Just apply for them.
Just to do it. Just to get used to the process.
Yep. Just so that way, when it comes time for that position to open up, which, like I said, the rumor is April 19th. Okay. If I can find out some more details, I'll let DL know. He'll put it on he'll put it on the gram.
Put it on the gram. I'll put it out there.
But, and he'll let everybody know. But no, get in there, start applying for jobs now. So that way you're familiar with the process. I mean, it's not difficult, but when it's, 1 o'clock in the morning, you're half asleep, you're trying to get it in there and you're stressing out, it could be a problem. So get in there, start applying for jobs now. And you might get offered something.
Yep. Don't mean you got to take it, but you might get offered something.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If you get offered another job before the air traffic control job, take it because you can always leave.
Yeah.
You can always transfer to air traffic. And here's the other part of that. If your background check is completed over here, okay, it'll go that much faster over there. All right. Because you're already in the government system.
Yep. That's one less thing.
All right. HR, the background check stuff, they can just call the other HR. Okay. It's that much faster.
Started.
Okay.
Yep. It's done. It's paid for. It's like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So get in there and get yours. All right. Go make
and
that.
They don't take it personal, guys. They don't take it. They're just doing their job. They don't care that you're about to transfer over from Office of Homeland Security or from DOD or wherever job you got offered. They don't care. They're just gonna like, no problem. Here you go. Jack Black said he has a question. He was like, is pension and TSP different? Yes. They're two different things. You could have $1.5 million in your TSP account. Depends on how much money you invest in, government matching and what accounts you have it in and what the market does.
It's a 401k.
It's a 401k. Your pension is your pay basically for being retired, and then your TSP can be used to augment that. So if you're getting paid $3,000 a month in pension because you worked at a lower facility, you can also use your TSP because you got $1.8 million in there, and you can give yourself an additional $4 million. Now you're making $7,000 a month. So you take $7,000 a month from your TSP and couple that with your $3,000 a month. Now you're at 10 grand a month if that's what you want to do. It's up to you.
It's pretty simple.
But they're separate.
I got it. TSP can run out. Your pension you got till you die.
Yeah.
And then if you sign up for survivor's benefits, your wife will get TSP after you die. So basically, pension is forever. Pension is long as the rest of your life.
That's why it's great. And it's like, and Brother Jack is saying, I heard all that when I was telling my family. Yep, he's talking about people trying to talk you out of. He was telling his family, I'm like, and so what do you think? I can't handle it? And he shut them up pretty quick. But yeah, people are going to tell you can't do it. Well, you've been cutting grass for the past 8 years. What do you mean you're going to be in there traffic controller? Like, well, I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah. And like I said, and when I say stuff like that, I'm telling you, it's funny to me how people think that I'm being dramatic. But I've actually, here's a quick story about when I was talking to kids in high school back when I was still working. This was back in like 05 or 06. I met a kid in high school. He was like 17 years old. I'm talking inner city school. I'm talking to the kid about being an air traffic controller. I'm talking to the class about being an air traffic controller. Gave everybody my business card. The one kid called me up. He was real excited. His mom called me the next day. And the first thing out of her mouth, I literally answered my phone, hey, this is James. The first thing out of her mouth was, why would you fill my son's head with this shit about being an air traffic controller? They're never going to pay a black man that much money.
That's insane.
I told her, first of all, I'm black. First of all. And I went, picked her up. And mind you, I was like, was I 30 at the time? So I picked her up in my 7 Series BMW and took her and her son out to dinner and had a long talk with them, and explained the process. That kid, he ended up graduating high school a year later, and he was going to go into the, he went to the Air Force. He got out early because he got hurt or something like that. So he got out early, got a job he got hired as an air traffic controller, New York Common I. So he certified within 3 years, and he was making almost $200,000 a year at 21. And, and it was funny because I kept telling him, don't pay attention to the money. Just put your head down, focus on training, get through training, because everybody expected him to fail because he was so young. And he got through training. He didn't realize how much money he even had in the bank because he took everything I said literally. Put my head down, don't even pay attention. So he was shocked by the money he was making. And then the first thing he did was go buy his mom a condo. That's the first thing he did was buy her a condo back in California.
It's the very lady said he couldn't do it. If he listened to her, he'd be stuck on stupid.
On the side of the street because, what is it? That shit is generational. You know what I mean? That negative thinking, that slave mentality type stuff, it's almost generational. Until you break that cycle, it's going to continue. And that's a young man that took a step out there against what everybody was telling him, and he broke that cycle. Old man Jack Black, you know what I mean? You're about to break that cycle, brother, for real.
Yeah. And they're going to be looking at you like, man, I can't believe he did it. He was installing air conditioners. Now look at him. You know what I'm saying? It's like digging ditches. Bro, you're going to be living good. Mandrell, like, what makes it so hard? Mandrell, man, like, two things. Like the hiring process is difficult just because, y'all know we know how the government is. Like the Army is horrible. The government is just bad. Yeah. But once you get the job itself is difficult. I ain't going to lie to you.
Yes.
It's challenging, man. It's really challenging. What makes it so hard? Planes fall out the sky sometimes, bro. And if you're the guy sitting there talking to that pilot, what you hear and what you see, I know a lot of people that just can't handle it. I know people that have resigned, they just couldn't get past that.
You got to be able to memorize 10 things at 10 different times while you're listening to 10 different conversations. Then you have, like you said, the same people driving cars or flying planes. So they'll tell you they're going left when they're actually going right. Then you got the regulations you got to learn about the size of a phone book. And they expect you to be an expert on every aspect of it, which is completely impossible. So you're not an expert, but you're familiar with everything in that book. And you got to do all this with people standing around you critiquing everything you do.
Yeah, people, everything we did to this day, we can be caught up now that they could question us on something that happened, 15, 20 years ago. And we got to come in there and remember it. Like, well, what? I mean, in court. So like it's one of those things.
But on top of that, and I always tell people, not only, I mean, the real money comes in, the real stress comes in when something goes wrong. Okay. And you can't physically reach out there and fix it. You got to talk somebody through it. And you got to remain calm the whole time, knowing.
Yeah.
I can tell you a quick story. I had a family while I was working. Christmas is right before Christmas, flying into an airport. The field was marginal, it was, basically it was marginal VFR type. Basically, it wasn't totally clear. It was like a little foggy down at the airport. Pilot flying around, and pilot, he couldn't find the runway. So, I told him to do it again, go around, do it again. He went to go around. He said, "Oh, I see the runway right there." And he dove for it. He ended up crashing the plane. Okay. The whole time I'm listening to this, I'm hearing Christmas music. Every time he keyed up, I hear the kids singing in the background. I heard grandma tell the kids, don't worry, it'll be fine. And his last words were, "Oh my God, I've killed my family." And he crashed that plane at the end of the runway, probably a little bit, it was I want to say, was it a 3,000-foot runway? And so he crashed right in the middle of the runway. And it's not like on TV, we see the big fireballs and that stuff. No, it just hits, boom. And grandma and grandpa ejected out the front of the plane, sliding down the runway. Mom and one of the kids died instantly. One kid's in the back of the plane. He's still alive. Now, all that happens. I don't have the luxury of, oh my God, what just happened? I have other planes. I have other things moving around. So I'm watching. I see all this happen. I'm telling other planes, do this, do that. The crash people from the fire department, somebody's hitting the crash alarm. I'm talking to them. I'm moving planes out of the place. I'm coordinating with other facilities and doing all this other stuff. Meanwhile, I'm still looking at these people laying on the runway. Okay.
Yeah, you're right there.
And I'm calm. I'm not sounding stressed. I'm not sounding like all that. Now, when that was all over and somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, you got to take a break." That's when they kind of like, "Oh, wow, I can't believe this just happened." Now, after all that crap, because there's going to be a lawsuit coming from somebody somewhere, you got to go downstairs and listen to that tape all over again. And I don't care who you are, what kind of person you are. It is very depressing. It's sickening because you're hearing it happen and you're reviewing it over and over again. And that goes on for years.
Yeah, years.
Okay?
So depending on how long that case drags out, years.
And mind you get like what? Like I think it's up to, was it 30 days or 45 days off work if you take it? I think you can push it that far.
Yeah, I forget what they call it. It's an acronym for it, but yeah, you can get extended, but after a while the government forces you to go back to work, or they're gonna fire you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And I can tell you, I've only seen one person get that long off because usually it was like maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks.
I seen the guy get 6 months, but he didn't care about the money or anything like that. And they had to force him back. And I've seen the guy walk away. I've seen the guy just like, well, you know what? I ain't never coming back. And because Mandrill he's like, oh, it sounds annoying. It's very annoying when you got to deal with all these stupid rules because whenever something goes wrong, they come up with some really dumb rules because they're trying to fix the system because they don't want this to happen again, but there's no way to fix it. It's kind of like we were talking about the marriage thing earlier today. There's no way to fix it, but they're going to try. And, Mandrill's like, he can handle the stress. That's not a problem for me. But it's a different type of stress.
Yeah, a lot of people handle the stress. You know what I mean? The problem is do you know all the rules and are you capable of dealing with all the rules and the attorneys and everybody else that gets involved with everything you do? And like you said, they change the rules all the time because,
and they listen to every word that you say. So throughout that whole process, I've been to stuff like that. They listen to every single word you say. And the other attorney, the attorney who was against the government, all they need you to do is not follow one of those rules inside of that telephone book that you were talking about. Yep. You were supposed to say, traffic, 12 o'clock, 2 miles. You said, look out, 2 miles ahead to your left. Like, why did you say this? You did it wrong. Yeah. I know a guy who, I'll say this story and then when we're done. Since we're not even talking about getting hired anymore. We're just talking about, whatever. But there was a guy working an airplane. Airplane lost his engine. Flying around when you lose an engine, generally speaking, that's not a big problem. But if you only got one engine, that's a real problem, right? So this was a single engine aircraft lost its engine. Rough running engine, engine quit, couldn't get it started over water. So the airplane goes down in the water. This controller was able to get a helicopter, a police helicopter, and vectoring to the scene. The police helicopter saw that the plane was going under the water and the pilot was trying to, stay afloat. So the helicopter goes down. They rescue the guy, save the guy's life, fly him to safety. The controller got in trouble, right? Because the controller didn't ask how many people were on board.
Oh, yeah, didn't get the emergency stuff.
Didn't get the emergency stuff, bro. And and the controller got in trouble. And it's like, bro, he saved this man's life. Well, it could have been more people in the airplane. You dude would have told us, you know what I mean? Like there's a manifest.
It's talking for the tape. Talking for the
tape. So
but
again,
now mind you, we're giving you like worst case scenarios. Like that was like my worst day. Okay. And so I don't think that every day is like that. Most days.
Yeah, the vast majority of air traffic controllers don't have stories like this.
Yeah.
It's like police. The vast majority of police officers never fired their weapon at anybody.
Yeah.
Right? But we don't talk about them. We talk about the guy who heard an acorn fall into a car and he shoots the car up. We're gonna talk about that guy. But but there's no cops don't do that on a regular. So yeah, this is a great career. I think that everyone should take advantage of it, especially if you're under 31. It is a recession-proof job. You're always going to get a pay raise. Every single year, you're going to get a pay raise. Where are you going to get that in this private sector?
Yeah, you're going to get tons of holidays,
tons of time off.
Yeah, tons.
You can work schedules like as a group. You can tell. Imagine you got a job where you tell your boss how y'all going to work your schedule.
Yeah, seriously.
We're telling you how we're going to do this.
Yeah, I hated that when I was in management.
Yeah.
A lot of places,
a
lot of places you're going to work. Whatchamacallit? Oh, did the pilots fly the class? No, everybody died.
Well, and Jay Swan's story,
everybody died.
They didn't survive except for one kid. And the story that I told, the pilot did survive. The police helicopter pulled him out before the plane went under.
Yeah.
So he survived. But yeah, man, sometimes people walk away from the crash. Most of the time walk away from the crash. Most of the time. But then there are times when they don't, and again, between the two of us, we got stories, but most air traffic controllers don't have stories like that. We're actually looking at it. Radar guys don't have windows. Keep that in mind. So so I hope this helps. Again, we have videos out there that we've done about being an air traffic controller on this channel. Go watch those videos because we really got in depth in the how do you do this? How do you enter that in the USA Jobs part? But again, set up the account today, right now. If you want to, if you're out there, you're thinking about it, set up the account, USAJOBS.gov, set up your account, get all your information in there, use their format. Don't use yours, use their format. And then if they receive once they say they received your information, you get confirmation, check your emails every day.
Yeah. Stay on it. Just stay on it. At least 3-4 times a week. Stay on it.
Stay on it. Check your spam every single day. They will reach out to you. Even if it's to tell you you didn't make it, they're going to reach out to you.
Yeah.
If it say you didn't qualify or whatever, they're going to reach out to you. So it's not like, I guess they didn't reach out to me, so I get no. If they send you notifications saying they accepted your packet, they have to send you a notification saying that it's over or you're moving to the next step.
Yeah. So just stay on top of it. That's the bottom line. Yeah, and sorry this video isn't as detailed as the last one, but we're getting further and further away from it. And
harder for us.
Yeah, but the thing is, we know it's the right thing to do. Like I said, when I don't feel like doing it, D reach out to me and be like, yo, it's that time again. So let's get on this. We made a promise when we got hired to reach back and help others. So, anybody that gets hired with our assistance, all we ask you is do the same thing.
Yeah. This time next year, when it comes up next year, we'll have people who are closer to it, either just retired or people in the FAA. We're trying to work out so where we can get a union and an FAA rep to come do this show with us. That's what we're trying to do, but it's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah,
a lot of hoops to jump through.
Everybody, and because I was trying to get a little shorty from Vegas. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And but she's like, she's in training right now, so she's like, I don't want to mess around with that. And because there were some issues before with some people trying to help with hiring. So it gets to be a situation, but we're getting further and further away from it. It gets harder for us to kind of know what's really going on. I'm trying to look at this stuff. It's killing me. But we get further and further away from it because, we're retiring for so long. But the process is still the same. It's still the same process. I'm sure the training is changing every year because you're dealing with different people now. When we went through training, they were very, very hard and direct on us. It was almost like being in the military again, some of these people, the way they trained. But now it's more of a train to succeed program. Whereas, so they're actually taking the time to make sure you have what you need. They're getting you more breaks, that kind of thing. I don't know what's going on in the facilities, but I'm sure it's less of people screaming at you in your ear and punching you in the chair and stuff like that. But it's definitely a great career. Like I said, it's a great career. I get paid literally. I can easily, I do actually for the most part, live off of my my retirement. I don't have to work anymore. The things I do now are because these are things that I want to do. And that's a good life. And, one thing my dad told me when I got into this career field, because my father was also an air traffic controller. So that's how we kind of got into it. But he told me, he worked until he was in his 60s. He was an air traffic controller. Then he got into management and he stayed in management until he was in his mid 60s. And he called me up one day and he was like, as soon as you're eligible to retire, go for it. Don't stick around. Don't wait for that extra $1,000 a month or whatever it is. Go ahead and take that time and enjoy your life. Have fun with your retirement. And I think that's the best advice that I ever got. And fortunately, I'm in a career field where I had the opportunity to leave, pretty early, actually. Looking back on it, was like 47, 46.
Yeah, you were 46. I was 50.
Yeah. So,
How was that?
Yeah. And so take advantage of it. Don't sleep on it. If it's out there, jump on it. All right. Have a nice day.
And that's how that works, yo. So y'all see my Instagram scrolling at the bottom. If you got any questions, don't hesitate. Hit me up on Instagram. You guys are like, how do I get a hold of Jay Swans? You don't. Right? That's the answer. You don't.
You don't. That's how you do it. Know what you do? You want to get a hold of me? You send DL Saint a Cash App to get me to answer the phone. It's going to cost $100. To get me to talk on the phone, $150.
There you go. There you have it. Send the money, and then I'll make sure you get that number. So, and it'll be his work phone. It won't be his private number. So.
He'll call me from his phone, and I won't know that you call him. So I will talk right away.
Yeah, but yeah, any questions at all, hit me up. Don't hesitate, guys. This is a great opportunity. If this only helps one person get into the FAA, then I'm happy, and Jay Swans is happy. We just, if you're a young black person, a young person of color, a woman, and you're not applying for this, you're fooled. I don't want to hear you say nothing to nobody. Like, this is the opportunity for you. This is the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Only people that can tell you can't do it is the FAA. No one else should be telling you not to do this. The FAA is the only authority that can say you cannot do this. So do the paperwork. If you get stuck, hit us up. Stay off of Reddit. If you're in the process, stay off of Reddit. Hit us up. If we can't get you an answer, if we don't know the answer, we'll get you the answer.
Yeah, we're talking to you, Jack Black.
I already lit it.
Talking about you.
I lit into him, bro. I'm like, would you get off that damn Reddit, bro? Like, these young kids, stop it. You know what I mean? You got the dudes I can call a person you're sending the packet to, right? Reddit, there's no one on Reddit that can do that. All right. So
I tell you, like I said, HR, never mind.
Yeah, don't go too far. I was
looking up to say something, but don't do that. And
Mandrell, you're too old, bro. Mandrell, look at Mandrell. People like me, should I apply? You too old, bro.
You're too old, man. Apparently, y'all can't process stuff that quickly no more. Was it after 31? Yeah, y'all think too slow after 31.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But really though, like I said, we done got, like I said, since we've been in Florida, it's been we've been direct. Well, we could put hands on 3 people, and one dude, we never met. He just told us that he looked at the video and got hired. So, and that's doing pretty good. And so we're trying to help.
You sorority sisters out there that ran into Jay Swans.
Oh yeah. Them little.
Hit me up on Instagram. We'll come to the college. Get a room with the school. We'll come. We'll bring a package. We'll probably be able to bring someone from the union. We'll be able to have a good conversation to show you guys what to do. Remember, this This hire is supposed to be happening in the next few weeks, so y'all better move quick on this.
Yeah, for
Move
real.
quick. So we're done. We're done, man. You got anything else?
Nah. Send money. $ DL Saint Pod. Yeah. There you go.
I
know you want to
appreciate
say
that,
it.
man.
Wait. Hit the like button. Subscribe. You don't like to say that stuff. Send money.
Forgetting.
And if DL don't want to take the
to say
money,
it.
I will take the money. I had no problem.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Send us money. We need money for ammo so we can go to the range. So we can go to range, man. I still ain't fired that Creedmoor, that 6.5 Creedmoor. I still ain't fired that thing, bro. You know what I mean? It's just sitting downstairs.
Tell me, Andretta, come on. Where's he at there?
Yeah,
up in Alabama, loving sheep. Is that what y'all do in Alabama?
Man, no Diddy.
Yes, Diddy. That's the Diddy part. You know Diddy all about it.
All right, y'all. We are done, man. That's Jay Swans. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast. Apply, man. Become an air traffic controller. What do you got to lose? We out of here. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.